Jeremy Corbyn called out the press questioning him on his plans for Brexit as he arrived in Brussels to meet with chief negotiator Michel Barnier on Thursday. Mr Corbyn insisted he wanted to reach an agreement with the European Union before the March 29 deadline and to find a way forward for the future relationship between the UK and the bloc. As the press questioned him, Mr Corbyn told them not to shout as he would call on them fairly. Wait. No need to shout, we're all here, I can see who you are and I will call you. In the fair and decent way in which I try to conduct myself, sources close to senior members of the shadow cabinet claimed last weekend. Mr Corbyn has grown tired and fed up with the role of leader. A member of his frontbench went as far as to suggest Mr Corbyn would be willing to step down to leave the role. Someone else, a Labour spokesman, rubbished as complete and utter nonsense. Speaking about the state of Brexit, Mr Corbyn reaffirmed his commitment to finding an alternative to the withdrawal agreement Theresa May has put to the vote in the Commons twice. Listen here. Latest Brexit news from the express.co.uk. Final countdown podcast. Brexit news. Corbyn told the press there was no need to shout as he talked about the meeting. Image Sky News. Mr Corbyn said the Prime Minister's deal has been flatly rejected twice by the British Parliament. We do not believe it is a way forward. Therefore we are looking for an alternative that can command a majority in Parliament. Our determination is to find an agreement which means we prevent a no-deal Brexit and that we have a future, constructive relationship with the European Union that could be negotiated during an extension period. This morning's meetings have been positive and we have done what I believe the government ought to be doing, which is instead of bringing back a twice-rejected deal to the British Parliament, looks forward to a constructive alternative. Last night, Mr Corbyn was consigned to a late-night call with Theresa May after storming out of a cross-party meeting in fury at independent group MP Chuka Omuna's attendance after he quit Labour last month. Brexit news. May will seek the support of the EU to get an extension to the talks. Image Express CO UK. After Mr Corbyn walked out of the cross-party meeting last night, Mr Omuna, the independent group's spokesman, told Sky News, I think we are in a crisis situation here where the people of this country expect representatives from different political groups in Parliament to come together and try to chart a way forward. That is why the Prime Minister convened the meeting. I welcome the fact that she did so. I think it is really extraordinary behavior for the leader of the opposition to behave in this kind of very juvenile way when the moment demands we all step up and engage in some serious dialogue to find a way through this chaos and mess. But he will have to explain his actions. But when questioned on his reasons for leaving last night's meeting, Mr Corbyn simply said there was confusion. He added he had a frank discussion with Mrs May last night and will again do so next week on a one-on-one basis, emphasizing he has also met the leaders of all opposition parties.